Good evening and welcome inside of Geisman Gymnasium for tonight's conference volleyball match between the 10-10 Benedictine University Eagles and the 9-12 Concordia University Chicago Cougars. Carter Glenhill, Rafael Gonzalez with you on the Cougar Sports Network as we have a rivalry in store tonight, Rafael. These are two teams that frequently duke it out when they come to town and come to blows with each other. And for CUC, they're in the midst of a hot streak right now, coming off two big conference wins against MSOE and Wisconsin Lutheran, and they catch the Eagles on a three-game losing skid.
They do, and especially now as we're heading towards the end of the year now, conference seeding is so very important. Remember, the top 6 teams make it to the end of the year tournament. Right now, Concordia right now at 4-5 in the conference, at 9th in the conference, and Benedictine 6 with 5-4. So win tonight, and just like that, depending what happens elsewhere, the Cougars could fall themselves right back into the top 6.
And this is a Cougars team that we've seen a lot throughout the year ride the highs and lows. We've seen a couple losses in a row and then wins. They haven't gone more than 2 matches in a row with a win, so there's no 3-game win streak at all for this Cougars team. But for Benedictine, it was a rough start of 0-4, then they found their groove. But this is a team that, if we look back at last year's 16-12 finish, and they were 3rd in the conference at the end of the season, this is a Benedictine team that shouldn't be messed with, and they're led by a couple key players. And if we're especially going to be talking about Olivia McPherson, who was named Offensive Player of the Week by the NAC Conference for her efforts in her last 3 matches of almost 5 kills per set.
Not only that, McPherson leads the team in kills, 206 overall, and 5th in the conference in digs and 8th with points. This is a Benedictine team that relies heavily on her, but also look for number 2, Grace Knutson, and number 1, Zam Zarowski to take up the load for her tonight.
Defensively for the Eagles, Courtney Levy was also named Defensive Player of the Week in the last conference roundabout of awards with 4.77 digs per set in the last 3 matches, and these come against Concordia, Wisconsin, Lakeland University, and Carroll University. And this is a big time here for the Eagles, trying to move up a little bit more in the conference standings, maybe win a home match if possible. But between these two teams right now, a lot rides on the line, especially for the Cougars, and they're going to rely on Grace Haywood to lead the offensive charge.
Haywood dominating so far this year, 286 kills, including that historic performance against Marion, Wisconsin during homecoming week when she had 54 kills. Expect for her, if they're going to make it to the conference, be thanks in large part to number 12.
Well, Grace Haywood is also 3rd in the NAC with 268 kills on the season. She has amassed 8 double-doubles so far. And also, too, Isabel Vernango has been an intricate part of this offense, not just because she's tallying 84% of the sets for the team, but she carries a good court vision as well. She knows when to dump it over the net, and she's a very, very smart player for this team.
The junior is going to be a large key part in this game, setting up right there for the outside hitters right there to get the points.
Well, the Cougars haven't qualified for the conference tournament since 2020, only 2 times under head coach Troy Campbell entering his 9th season. But for the Eagles, they just keep finding a way to stay relevant within everything in the conference. Head coach Jen Wilds is now in her 17th season with the Eagles. These two teams know each other, and for the Cougars, in the last 10 games, 4-6 overall against the Eagles, 4-9 at home. But this is a team for the Cougars that needs to get out hot early at home or they fall away early at home.
They do. If you look at their 9 wins so far this year, all but 2 of them, they have not won in the opening set. So winning the opening set is going to be the key of the day. Otherwise, they have not been known to rally back from losing the first set.
We'll have the starting lineups and the match of the week between these two teams. CUC needs a big-time win over Benedictine in order to stay alive for the conference playoff race. We'll have more for you on the Cougar Sports Network after a message from President Russell Dawn.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
There you have it, the starting lineups for both teams. We'll run it back one more time. For the Eagles, the libero is number 3, Courtney Levy. And the starters for the Eagles, number 1, Sam Zarowski, Grace Knutson, Olivia McPherson, Korea McPherson, Amelia Olabi, and Hannah Griffith. For the Cougars, the libero is Julia Beers. And starters include Eve Dickin, Isabel Vernango, Lily Hunt, Grace Haywood, Michaela Lavoie, and Katie Stonich. So Raphael, both these teams looking to solidify spots in the conference tournament. Only 2 weeks left in the regular season. What do the Cougars need to do as they currently stand, as you mentioned, 9th in the conference standings, to take a win from the Eagles tonight and boost their postseason chances?
Well, they're going to have to start fast in this game. What I mean by that, they have to take advantage and win the opening set, sort of control the tempo of the game, and not only that, feel comfortable. If they're down 1-0 after the first set, they might see things starting to unravel for them. It's all about composure in the opening set.
Again, one player to keep an eye out for the Cougars is number 12, Grace Haywood, who leads the team with 268 kills on the season. Raphael mentioned her in the pregame show. And for the Eagles, you have to watch out for number 5, Olivia McPherson, the always dangerous and reigning NAC Offensive Player of the Week. Serving for the Eagles is Kiera McPherson. Stonich makes a dive at the ball, and it goes out of play. So a service ace to start the match for the Eagles. This is a Cougars team that if they find themselves on the wrong end of a scoring run, it's very hard for them to climb out of it. It's important, as you mentioned, Raphael, to get that hot start, as the attack from Eve Dickin is rejected at the net, sent back into the back row for CUC. Eagles up 2-0.
Good job there defensively there by number 1, Sam Zarowski, and number 20 right there, Hannah Griffith right there, getting there and blocking the shot.
Stonich again off balance, and the tip over from number 20, Hannah Griffith. So already the Eagles going after Katie Stonich in the back row. Fourth serve to come from McPherson. Beers gets the first touch. Vernango can't corral it. Eagles jump out to an early 4-0 lead. Second service ace of the set so far for McPherson. Close to the net, dancing on it. Vernango hits it back. Free ball from Beers. Rejected at the net, Lavoie and Stonich. Vernango setting up Stonich. Good save by number 1, Sam Zarowski. Point awarded to the Cougars. Troy Campbell, a coach as well for the Cougars, that is very patient with his timeouts. Doesn't like to burn them early in a set. But you have to wonder, when is he going to call a timeout if this run continues for the Eagles to open up set 1. Stonich with an attack. And the attack from Zarowski goes through the double block between Lavoie and Dickin, and now we see Troy Campbell call a timeout after the Eagles have jumped out to a 6-0 lead behind Kiara McPherson's 2 service aces so far to start set 1. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Eagles have stormed out to a 6-0 lead over the Cougars in set 1. Kiara McPherson with 2 service aces. She came into tonight with 21 on the season. But so far, the Cougars haven't been able to answer her. Raphael, what do they need to do to change up the receiving side of all these serves?
Well, so far, what they need to do is be more efficient hitting it right there. Get their first point of the game, just like that. Before the break, they had a hitting percentage of minus 0.03 against a Benedictine team that came into the day third and allowing the least amount of percentage of hits at 1.146.
Eve Dickin with the first point for the Cougars. Julia Beers back to set, or serve, I should say. Little poke over by Griffith. Vernango to Stonich, off balance attack. Now coming from the backside is number 2, Grace Knutson. Knutson, a junior from Plainfield, Illinois. Coming into the match now for the Eagles, number 14, Addie McConaughey. And her serve goes into the net.
First real opportunity of the day for the Cougars to try to come back a little bit and start to get a run of their own right here.
Sophie Kovacevic, the junior from Hunley, Illinois, subbed in for Eve Dickin. Kovacevic, second on the team with 26 service aces on the season, make it 27.
Sometimes right there, you better be lucky than good. And in that case, it happened right there for Kovacevic.
7-3 Eagles lead in set 1. Another service ace from Kovacevic. So just as we saw, Kira McPherson with a couple service aces in her run at the service line. Sophie Kovacevic coming off the bench, going back to back. A strong attack from the far side. McPherson, it was handled well by Kovacevic. They go to McPherson again. Kovacevic, dig at the net. Vernango tips it to the back row. Haywood not able to get to the ball, hit by number 12, Kira McPherson.
McPherson did a good job right there, finding the hole right there in the middle right there. And just like that, Benedictine back in control now.
7-4 Eagles. The serve from Griffith. Attack sent back from Hunt. Now the Eagles set up for McPherson. Beers with a dig. Right at the net, double block between Hunt and Stonich. Another attack for McPherson, and that is too strong.
McPherson right there, too much power right there on the attempt right there. It's going to go down as an error for her. So now, Cougars look to rally back and tie it up eventually, hopefully.
McPherson with 47 kills in our last 3 matches. Another dig by Beers. Haywood from up top. That one is too strong. Brooke Christensen came into the match to serve, but they are going to award that to the Cougars as there was a touch by one of the back row players for the Eagles. Cougars found themselves down by 6, now find themselves down 2. Beers not able to slide over. Knutson comes up again with the soft attack. She's now subbed out and is replaced by number 9, Jamie Janzik. The senior from Naperville, Illinois. Haywood keeps it alive. Another strong attack from McPherson. McPherson picks up her second kill of the set.
Looked like right there, got a tip right there from Haywood.
Haywood with an attack, splits the double block between Owadleby as well as McPherson. So now the freshman Lily Hunt will serve for the Cougars, trailing 10-7. And a back row attack from Olivia McPherson again. McPherson has been emerging as the early contender for the driver's seat in the offense for the Eagles. A soft touch by Haywood, a smart play by the senior.
That was really nice right there from the seniors you mentioned, Carter, right there. Just putting it right there. Just giving a nice little love tap right there to the ball. Just like that. Cougars now will serve it up.
Isabel Vernango to serve for the Cougars. Set by Janzik, kept alive by Vernango. Free ball over from Haywood. A nice dive from Beers. Missed time jump from Haywood. Another back row attack. Olivia McPherson hit it right into the net. We're standing at the net for the Cougars, number 14, Michaela Lavoie, the 5'11 freshman from Kankakee, Illinois. Nice play from Courtney Levy, but it falls for the Cougars. They are now within one.
Saw a miscommunication right there between number 19, Amelia Oluwabi right there. Just like that. Cougars are a point away from tying it up.
Eagles set it up for Zorowski. Haywood can't do anything. And a point is awarded to the Cougars. So now, after being down 6-0 in the beginning of set one, they have stormed back. They are now tied at 11, riding a 3-0 scoring run. Vernango's fourth serve hits the top of the net and rolls over.
Second time already in the first set, we've seen the Cougars serve it, and the ball just barely goes over the net right there. Right, lucky bounce again for the Cougars.
25th service ace of the season for Vernango. Cougars pick up the lead for the first time in the set. The attack from Zorowski was tipped off of Dickens' fingertips.
Talked about Zorowski at the beginning of the broadcast. Came into the day third in the team and goes up 105 already so far with 2.
Sophomore libero Courtney Levy to serve for the Eagles. Nice save by Vernango and a better one by Beers. Free ball over from the Cougars. Eagles set it up right at the net, and smacking it home is Zorowski. Another set to come from Courtney Levy. Named Conference Defensive Player of the Week. That was mishandled by Beers in the back row.
We've seen Beers so far in the opening set do a lot of good plays defensively. However, at that time, unfortunately, just goes away from her.
14-12 Eagles. Beers has a handle on this one. Haywood trying to go cross court. Couldn't get it inside the line. Another thing, too, we've seen Raphael between both these two teams as the scoring run. Obviously, Eagles jump out early. Cougars respond. A little give and take there, but we've seen 6 service aces so far in set one.
So far, it's a good job so far by both teams serving the ball. As the points going to go over to Benedictine.
Combo block between Zorowski and Griffith falls right on the black line in front of the Cougars bench. Eagles back out to a 4-point lead. Levy served. Sent back over to the Cougars side to go back to Dickin. Eagles get it under control. Roll shot from McPherson. Haywood, another tip, and that one is down. Griffith was able to get a touch on the ball, but it hit it all the way back to the back row as Katie Stonich will return to the match to replace Brooke Christensen.
It's already twice we've seen Haywood already in the contest getting a point right there, just gently pushing the ball over the net. That might be the key for them in the rest of the set.
An attack for Zarowski. Free ball from Stonich. Stonich trying to get a finger on it at the net. Eagles able to get it over. Another attack for Dickin. And it hits off the double block from the Eagles. Dickin now with 3 kills in the set. Grace Haywood to serve for the Cougars. Hard serve. Haywood sends it over. It's spiked back by Griffith. Both players showing off the arm strength on that point.
So far, number 17, Julia Beers, getting a workout so far in the back defensively, making a lot of good dives.
Kira McPherson served for the Eagles and can't get a handle on the attack from Dickin. Lily Hunt back in the middle for the Cougars. 17-15, Eagles lead set 1. Beers serve, hard, received well by Olivia McPherson. First touch from Dickin. Stonich, a strong attack, received from Levy. Slamming it back was Zarowski. Point continues. Now a back row attack from Olivia McPherson that falls. Vernango wasn't able to get it to a second Cougar. 18-15 Eagles.
Saw right there, deflection when the ball hit the net right there. Vernango had the ball not deflected. It looked like she would have gotten there in time.
Addie McConaughey to serve for the Eagles. Second rotation for her at the service line. Another attack from Stonich, fired home.
Really good kill right there by Stonich. Not quick enough reaction right there by McConaughey that time.
Came into tonight's match with 160 kills. That ranked second best on the team. Only her and Haywood have triple-digit kill totals on the season. Kovakovic again for the Cougars. A nice dig from her. Haywood couldn't get there. Some miscommunication between Beers and Haywood on who would get the second touch. Serving for the Eagles, Hannah Griffith, the grad transfer from Algonquin, Illinois. Right at the net for Vernango. Hunt able to pick up her first kill of the set.
Good job right there by the 5'11" freshman right there. It was blocked originally. However, ball passed through the net and fell down on the ground. So first point of the day for the freshman.
Now the freshman Brooke Christensen to serve for the Cougars. Trail 19-17 as we near the end of set 1. Nice block between Hunt and Vernango. Good dig from Kovakovic. Haywood, another soft touch, and that was not able to be put over by Amelia Owalabi. Eagles are starting to catch on to Haywood's tactics as she picks up her 6th kill of the set. Kovakovic able to keep it up with her right fist. Eagles set up the attack for Olivia McPherson. Hunt now slams it to the back. First touch by Zarowski, but not able to get over. All tied up again in set one. Now a timeout called by Jen Wild of the Eagles. It's been up and down between set one, between the Cougars and the Eagles, but we're all squared up at 19 apiece. We'll come back after the timeout on the Cougar Sports Network. Fans, head over to CUCougars.com for everything CUC athletics and women's volleyball. Click sports and women's volleyball in the drop-down menu to find rosters, schedules, stats, and more. That's CUCougars.com. Raphael, these two teams have duked it out here in set one. Cougars showing tremendous fight as they've done so far throughout this year. And you talked about the key to set one. Cougars have found a way to compete here and are now tied up at 19.
They haven't. They've been very efficient so far hitting-wise.
Nice attack from number 19, Oalabi. A freshman from Country Club Hills, Illinois. Getting up and over the net, picks up her first kill of the set. Eagles back in front by a point. The serve from Janzik at the net. Kept alive by the Eagles. Haywood goes up and slams it down off an Eagles wing.
Been a while since we've seen Hayward hammer one down for a kill right there. She did so, a really good job by her, and just like that, all not up at 20 here late in the first set.
And the thing about Haywood is she has very good control when she goes up to slam it right down, or she can go cross court. And a soft touch from Olivia McPherson. Play continues. That ball is hit out of play. Cougars take their first lead in a long time here in the set. It's been a while, but I'll tell you what, the Cougars have found a way to compete so far. The serve from Christensen goes out. Excuse me, Lily Hunt. 21-21 here in set one. Largest Cougar lead was 2 points so far in the set. Attack from Zarowski. Good receive from Christensen. Haywood dumps it over. Eagles try to set up another attack for Zarowski, but she was a little bit closer to that 10-foot line. Went long outside of the back of the court. Cougars now back up by 1 point with Isabel Vernango at the service line. Another Zarowski attack. Dickin wasn't able to control it.
You just feel it, how critical it is for both teams to win this opening set right now. All tied at 22.
Raphael, you bring up a good point too, because of the fact these two teams understand what's at stakes in terms of postseason. Eagles are trying to keep their rank climbing up in the NAC standings, and the Cougars are trying to fight for a playoff spot. Currently sit one spot out. After the Eagles take a 23-22 lead, Coach Troy Campbell calls his second time out of the set. He's trying to avoid dropping set one between the Cougars and the Eagles. We'll have more for you on the other side of the break on the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars down by a point here in set one. Grace Haywood has led the offense for the Cougars with 7 kills. That is a set high. Sam Zarowski as well as Grace Knutson with 4 kills each for the Eagles. Courtney Levy to serve again for the Eagles. Nice play from Haywood after the faulty set, and it goes right off the fingertips of Vernango. Eagles get ready to serve for set point. Vernango going to Haywood, another soft touch, and it just seems like Haywood is racking up the kills and keeping the Cougars in set one, and she's not having to do as much as we've seen in the past in terms of arm strength.
Yeah, so far, I believe that's already the 4th time in the set we've seen her just very gently just do a good job right there getting the kill.
Zarowski rejected. Lavoie and Dickin on the block. It's all tied up at 24. Extra volleyball here in set one. Second serve for Haywood. Another block. Stonich and Lavoie. And 3 Cougars look at the ball, hit the ground. Soft touch from the Eagles. They now have set point.
We haven't seen Benedictine much out the opening set. Do a lot of soft touches right there, but that time, good job there by Zarowski. And now they have a chance to close out the opening set.
Kira McPherson with the serve for Benedictine. Stonich, good dig from Beers. And Dickin's attack. Dickin is adamant that there was a tip, but there is no call for that, and that'll be the end of set one. Benedictine takes the set 26-24. It was a good battle in set one, and we'll have the breakdown for you on the other side of the break in set two on the Cougar Sports Network.
We can say here for the second set. Cougar fans, be sure to check out our YouTube page, CUC Sports, for new digital content, interviews, and all broadcasts on the Cougar Sports Network. Now you can become a channel member for $5 a month to receive exclusive access to content and the ability to participate in live chats during the broadcast. Go to our YouTube channel, CUC Sports, click the join button to become a member. If you don't want to become a member at the time, you can donate to the CUC Athletic Communications Department to continue to improve the broadcast you're watching by clicking the thanks button on any video. We sincerely thank you for all your support.
Set 2 about to get underway here in Geisman Gymnasium. Eagles take it by a score of 26-24. It was an exciting end to the set after what it was a abysmal start for the Cougars. But Raphael, what do we see from the Cougars in that set that can translate over well to set 2?
Just how efficiently they've been hitting it today. Coming into the day, they only averaged a percentage of 102. And after the first set, hitting percentage of .250. If you told me that before the game started that we would be hitting that efficiently in the first set, I would have thought we would have won the first set. However, unfortunately, Benedictine, they have done a really good job responding to that as well. Both teams so far really efficient compared to season average.
Cougars are able to get on a roll after being down 6-0. They were able to tie it up a couple times. Took 2-point leads for the set a few times as well, but it was just too little too late. And again, we look back at that final set point where Eve Dickin thought that her ball was tipped by one of the Eagles, but the official said none otherwise, so end of the point there.
It's going to be interesting to see how these Cougars react after losing to such a tight opening set right there. Are they going to come out guns blazing, or they're still going to feel a bit dejected morally after losing in such a tight first set?
Cougars will start to set 2 with Isabel Vernango at the service line. Vernango racked up 14 assists in set 1. Long serve. And now a free ball from the Eagles. Another roll shot from Haywood. Too much on the attack from Grace Knutson. Finished off set 1 with 4 kills. Lofty serve from Vernango. And a tip called on the Cougars. The attack came from Hannah Griffith.
Griffin right there, before even the kill right there, had a little bit of momentum and carried it right there with an efficient kill.
Serve from Zarowski. Vernango at the net, keeps it away from the Eagles. As Benedictine sets up their offense. Pierce receiving a strong attack from Olivia McPherson, and hammering it down the line is Grace Haywood.
And that time it all started by a really good job right there by Beers right there after the kill attempt from McPherson.
Haywood to serve for the Cougars, up 2-1 in early set 2. Haywood gets a paw on it, but it goes out of play. Olivia McPherson picking up another kill, now with 4 so far in the match. Hannah Griffith to serve for the Eagles. Picks up a service ace. Julia Beers, we talked about the work she put in set 1. The libero for the Cougars wasn't able to control the serve. They go to Stonich in the back row. The attack from Grace Knutson. It's off the right fist of Isabel Vernango and towards the stands.
Back-to-back misfortunes right there for the Cougars. And just like that, Benedictine trying to plow for an early lead.
Vernango goes backside to Dickin, who does the same tactic we saw Haywood use in set 1. As Dickin now picks up her 5th kill.
Dickin right there, learning from the best on the team right there. We saw Hayward do this in the first set. Now Dickin's starting to do so. And so far, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's how Corey's been able to get a few of these points.
Scouting report for the Cougars so far has worked if they get that little tip shot at the net. What a save by Beers. Dickin had to battle with the chair right at the net and wasn't able to hit it back into play. Eagles up 5-3. Serving for Benedictine is Jamie Janzik. Hits it right off the top of the net. Service error for the senior. Kovakovic in the serve for the Cougars. Talked about the service aces she had in set one. And she goes into the net.
Just before the sequence, we haven't seen many service errors in the first set, but already just like that, back-to-back, well made by both teams.
Olivia McPherson to the back row. Stonich's attack goes off the block of Owolabi, as well as number 1, Sam Zarowski. Brooke Christensen to serve for the Cougars. Another attack from Zarowski. So far, she has now 6 kills in the match. Just surpassed Grace Knutson and Olivia McPherson, who have 5 each. Haywood too strong. Trying to go cross court, but a tip was called at the last second. So to serve for the Cougars is Lily Hunt. Nice low riding serve. Lily Hunt picks up her 15th service ace of the season. Ties the game up at 7 apiece. Zarowski softly over. Haywood. That is out of play. Try to slide it in right on the line. It didn't miss by much. Eagles go up 8-7. Kira McPherson serve. It's the first touch for the Eagles. Haywood able to get back into the attacking swing. Now picks up her 11th kill of the match. She's been single-handedly carrying this CUC offense. And another great attack from Hannah Griffith. We've seen her pull out that move a couple times so far in the match. She now has 5 kills. Zarowski's serve, too strong, and goes out of the back of the court.
So far, just like in the first set, both teams cannot separate each other from one another. Really good contest.
Grace Haywood to serve for the Cougars, deep behind the service line. And the attack from Olivia McPherson splits the back row of CUC.
It's been very interesting so far. You look at the stat line so far. McPherson, her 6 kills a day. 4 players so far for Benedictine with 5 kills or more.
Stonich, her attack ricochets off Owolabi as well as Knutson and goes out. Cougar point ties it at 10 apiece.
Good work right there by the 2-minute blockers right there for the Eagles there. And just like, unfortunately, their best efforts will go unnoticed, unfortunately.
Beers' serve picked up by Levy. And Eve Dickin hung up in the air for a while. Not the strongest attack from the sophomore, but nonetheless, Dickin picks up her 6th kill of the match. Another serve to come from Beers. First touch by Olivia McPherson. Block between Stonich and Hunt. And a great play there by Kira McPherson just to dump it over right into the middle of the Cougar side of the court.
It's been interesting as you look at it from both teams. In this game overall, whenever both teams have dumped a very soft area generally over a net, it has fallen for them. So we'll see if that trend continues in the remaining of the set.
Janzik's serve, received by Beers, right at the net, tipped home by Olivia McPherson. And we've seen that a couple times already in this match, Raphael, is that the first touch by the Cougars ends up way too close to the net, and the Eagles, all they have to do is reach over, and it goes down as a point for them. Back row attack from Haywood. Misses about a ball and a half beyond the line. Eagles on a 3-0 scoring run. Stonich jumped close to the net. Not much she could do to redirect her body.
Try to go far side right there, unfortunately, just too much power.
And this is where we saw in set one, if the Eagles get to a big scoring run, the Cougars lose momentum a little bit. And a great save there by Janzik. Beers dives now. Stonich, a tip. Another great play by Janzik. Kira McPherson off balance and out of control, goes out of play. Sophie Kovacevic in for the Cougars. Last time at the service line, hit it right into the net. She gets it over. Beers with the dig. Vernengo over to Stonich. Rolls it down the line, and it drops right in front of a diving Sam Zorowski.
I mentioned previously in the last kill attempt right there by Stonich how she tried to hit it on the far side too. Why this time she does a good job on the near side and just barely gets past over the outstretched arms right there of Zorowski.
A dig from Beers after the attack from Owolabi. Eagles not able to keep it up after a great effort from Jamie Janzik. 14 apiece. Middle of set two. It was a competitive set one, 26-24. Benedictine won the set. And now a tip shot from the Eagles, courtesy of Kira McPherson.
It'll be interesting to see if both teams defensively readjust themselves and sort of have one or two more players come a little bit more further and sort of be able to get there in time on those softly hit balls.
Serve from Olivia McPherson. Attack from Hunt. And getting up was Zorowski. She gets the first touch after the rejection. Beers handling a strong attack from Kira McPherson. Both these teams duking it out here at the point. Cougars set up their offense. Vernengo tried to dump it deep. Soft attack, some miscommunication from Stonich and Vernengo. And the attack from Zorowski is too much. Long point there between both teams. Back to another tie here in set two at 15 all. Brooke Christensen, the freshman from Blaine, Minnesota. And her serve is too long. Both of these teams now with a pair of service errors in the set. Christensen able to dive on the court for the Levy serve, and that is hit way out of play by the Cougars. CUC now up 17-15. Second serve here for Levy. Haywood tried to poke it to the back row. Free ball for the Cougars. Haywood again, and that is out of play.
Saw there by Haywood that time. Just couldn't get it in within inside the line right there, and it cost them.
And you see the coaching too from Troy Campbell as another service ace for the Eagles. Courtney Levy will have to wait for another serve after Coach Troy Campbell calls a timeout. 19-15, Benedictine leads CUC here in set two. After the Eagles won set one, Cougars look to come out of the huddle with a little bit more energy and try not to go down 2-0. We'll have more of that on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to set two between the Eagles and the Cougars. Before the timeout called by Troy Campbell, we saw some coaching after an attack error from Grace Haywood. Raphael, what did you see from Coach Campbell?
Saw Coach Troy Campbell right there talking with Haywood right there to do much more better for close inward for shoulder rather than outward right there. Hopefully leads her being more accurate.
Haywood still leads the Cougars with 11 kills so far in the match. But other than that, there are no double-digit scorers, or should I say attackers for either team. Long set point, or should I say point already. And just a little tip over there from the Eagles' Hannah Griffith. Haywood has to punch it over. Zarowski sees her shot rejected. Lily Hunt, big time block from the freshman. And between her and Michaela Lavoie, those have been two freshmen for Troy Campbell that have stepped up into the middle blocking position, have done a good job of basically guarding that net.
They really have. They've done a really good job on their side. Both of them 5'11" as point award there to the Eagles.
Sam Zarowski hits it off the side of her fingers, but it spins its way down. Eagles now up 20-16 here in set two. Serve from Kira McPherson. Kovakovic. Haywood with a soft touch again, not able to go over. A strong swing by Zarowski. Haywood gets up, tips it over, but it gets batted right back. Both these teams playing close within the 10-foot line. Vernango, another push. Attack from Knutson. Received by Christensen. Free ball for the Eagles. Now a great dump over by Kira McPherson. We saw it in that point, a lot of back and forth between both of the setters in Vernango and then McPherson, but then it was just a little bit of a collapse in defense for CUC. 21-16 Benedictine. Tip from Haywood is sent back over by two Eagles. Another attack, this time it ricochets off of the two Eagles. Griffith and Knutson. Eve Dickin back into the match for the Cougars, replaces Sophie Kovakovic. Isabel Vernango at the line for CUC. Little floater, received well by Levy. Little push from Knutson, and a save by Vernango. Point still intact, and it splits the block of Dickin and Lavoie. 22-17, Benedictine.
Now Benedictine here. Cougars need to clamp down as the timeout is called right now. As I was about to say right there, the Eagles, their season could very well much be on the line here, especially if they lose in the second set though.
22-17, Eagles lead the Cougars here in set 2. Eagles are 3 points away from taking set 2 from CUC. At the service line for the Eagles is number 1, Sam Zarowski, the junior from Channahon, Illinois, excuse me. Vernango over to Dickin. Nice attack, but received well by Levy. Staying in play from McPherson as she went into the stands. Cougars set up a close attack from Lavoie. Michaela Lavoie picks up her first kill of the match. We talked about the play from the freshman middle blockers, and now she gets in on the scoring action. Haywood serve. That goes in. Service ace for the senior.
Saw right there, the libero right there, number 3, coordinate leader right there. She was avoiding the ball, hoping that it was going to fall out of bounds. She thought it was. However, in the end, it just barely snuck in right there.
Another strong serve from Haywood. Free ball from CUC, or should I say Benedictine to CUC. Dickin goes up. And again, another crossbody attack from Hannah Griffith. Stonich trying to force it over the net. CUC now down by 4 points.
Seeing Griffith do work on both sides, attacking and doing well up in front. It's like a middle blocker. She's going to about to serve it up right here.
Griffith serve. Goes to Beers, Vernango to Stonich. CUC trying to find a way to break this Eagles defense. It's been the long points that CUC has been able to capitalize on. And right there, a little miscue from Olivia McPherson gets the Cougars back within 3. Lily Hunt returns to the court for CUC. Julia Beers, the server. Attack from Olivia McPherson. Stonich with the roll shot. Knutson's attack. First touch by Beers, and then it goes out by the fans near side. Coming in to serve for set point for the Eagles is Jamie Janzik. So far tonight, he's not recorded a kill, which has been a big part of the defensive effort for Benedictine. Stonich able to keep it alive. Dickin, her attack splits the block of McPherson and Owalabi. CUC stays alive for one more point, and now they bring in one of their better servers off of the bench, Sophie Kovakovic.
Critical point in the set here for the Cougars.
Serve from Kovakovic goes all the way to Levy in the back row. Haywood keeps it up. Stonich off one leg. And a nice rejection by Hunt. Punched over, and the point awarded to CUC. Double touch on Benedictine's end. Kovakovic with 2 service aces so far in the match. Kept in play by Zarowski. That would have been the end of set 2 if she let that go out. Hunt goes over. Kovakovic watches it drop out of play. A smart play by Kovakovic just to watch it drop out. And now Benedictine will call a timeout. Jen Wild uses her first timeout of the set. CUC threatening to make it a tie match yet again, but the Eagles up 24-23. They have set point when we return yet again on the Cougar Sports Network. Sophie Kovakovic ready for her third serve. Big time point here for CUC. Trying to second it to extra volleyball as it was in set 1. Received by Levy. Attack from McPherson, and that goes out. Didn't miss by much. But set 2 and set 1 end for the Cougars by a matter of inches. Eagles take set 2, 25-23. Cougars have to fight back down 2 sets to none here in set 3 when we return on the Cougar Sports Network. Set 3 about to begin here in Geisman Gymnasium. Eagles won set 2, 25-23. They are now up 2 sets to none over the Cougars. And Raphael, we saw again that CUC was able to get things rolling in set 2, but it wasn't a matter of if they got off to a slow start. It was just a matter of the Eagles outplayed CUC.
They have up to this point, and in large part, when you look at the stat line, we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast how the best player for the Eagles coming into the day was Olivia McPherson, but so far, she is one of 5 players alongside with Sam Zarowski, Grace Knudsen, and Hannah Griffin with at least 5 kills or more. So it's not just about McPherson, but it's been several players for the Eagles, and that's been pretty much the big difference in this game.
Talked about what's at stake in the pregame show between these two teams. Cougars within 9-12 overall record, 4-5 in conference. Benedictine even 500 with 10-10 on the season, 5-4 in conference.
After today for the Eagles, only 3 games left. Excuse me, for the Cougars, 3 games left on the year. They play Friday at home against Alberta, then before having one more home game of the year against Edgewood before playing at the end of the year at Rockford. If they don't win today, they're going to have to almost certainly win 2 out of the next 3 games in hopes to have a shot at finishing in the top 6 of the standings.
Benedictine will take on Augustana College Wednesday night, and then they will get back to conference action against St. Norbert College on Friday at 7 p.m. Troy Campbell having some words with Eve Dickin as well as Michaela Lavoie before the set starts. Kira McPherson from North Aurora, Illinois, started set 1 on a roll with a couple service aces. Will start things in set 3. Point awarded to the Cougars. Eve Dickin on the attack. Block error by Olivia McPherson on the point. Julia Bierce to serve for CUC. And Haywood uses the right arm, but it goes out. Might have had a chance to go towards CUC's bench area. But nonetheless, the game is tied at 1-1 here in set 3. Olivia McPherson served it for the Eagles. Hunt's attack is blocked. Now they go over to Dickin. And splitting the attack is Sam Zarowski. Hunt and Dickin not able to control it. Long point here for both teams. Hunt goes cross body. Hits off the blockers for the Eagles in Zarowski and Griffith.
Job there defensively right there by Zarowski and Griffin right there against the outside hitter that time.
Kovakovic to serve for the Cougars. Zarowski's attack. Kovakovic kept it up. McPherson keeps her attack up. And sending it out is Sam Zarowski. And after what it was in set 1 where the Eagles jumped out to that 6-0 lead and then the Cougars had to trail back and find their way through set 1, set 2 more competitive, but it seemed like somewhere along the lines of that break between set 1 and set 2, we saw the Cougars find their identity, and that resilience that we talked about so much so far through the season definitely showed in set 2, and now trying to carry it over here in set 3.
They are, and this is their most important set of the year. If they lose today, the road for them to make it into the top 6 in conference only gets harder from here.
Katie Stonich and Lily Hunt on the block assist. Service error by the Cougars. Hannah Griffith to serve for the Eagles. Haywood keeps it up. Kovakovic a free ball over to Benedictine. Zarowski, her attack is saved by Haywood. Tip over from Stonich. Fernango over to Stonich, and a nice dig from Griffith. Rally continues and ends with Sam Zarowski as she picks up her 10th kill of the match. Griffiths to serve again for Benedictine. Stonich, her shot is not able to roll over the net. She tried the soft touch.
Right there was a pretty unfortunate situation right there for Stonich, not putting the ball over the net.
Fernango goes back over to Hunt, who slams it down. Another dig by Griffith. McPherson from the back. Stonich. Her attack is sent back over. Hunt wasn't able to get up enough to tip it over. Rolled off the fingers and the net. Benedictine up 6-4.
Those are the type of mistakes the Cougars cannot afford in this final set, Carter. And so far, back-to-back errors by first Stonich and then Hunt that time.
13 attack errors by CUC in the match, 12 by the Eagles. Zarowski's over. Stonich, Fernango, who tried to dump it over, sitting in the middle was Kira McPherson. And the attack from Sam Zarowski is too much. Misses about a ball over the line. Serving for CUC is Brooke Christensen. Kira McPherson. And a nice rejection over from Lily Hunt and Grace Haywood. And that's the kind of block and control that the Cougars lacked in the beginning between where we saw Lavoie and Hunt talking. It was nice there for one of the freshmen to team up with a senior there for a block assist. Point for the Eagles, courtesy of Grace Knutson. They regain the lead here in set 3. Serving for the Eagles is Jamie Janzik. Haywood goes up and it goes down right at the fingertips of Olivia McPherson. Already been 5 ties here in set 3. A little bit of a different story compared to sets 1 and 2. They go to Haywood again. Hits off the top pole.
It's already the 3rd attack error so far made from the Cougars, and it's costing them big time.
Fernango leaves it short for Lavoie. It's picked up by Levy. Fernango tries to tip it over. A great play by Levy, but nobody was there to help her out. So another tied point here for the Cougars and the Eagles in NAC Conference Volleyball. The Cougars 5 of 20 all-time against the Eagles. They've won 3 of the last 4 meetings, though. Haywood gets another chance. Dickin now, and a save by Christensen. Eagles go up, and the tech comes down from Kira McPherson. 6 kills on the night for the junior.
There, Beers made another diving effort right there. We've seen a lot of her diving so far in this game, and most times she's been able to get those digs just like that one right there.
Haywood able to just get it over the net. Benedictine sets up shop. The attack from McPherson goes out. Olivia McPherson with 8 kills so far in the match. Kiara McPherson with 6. Serving for the Cougars is Grace Haywood, deep from the service line. Stonich receives the attack from Olivia McPherson. Dickin watches her attack go right down at her feet. Olivia McPherson and Hannah Griffith team up for the block assist. Griffith now with 3 blocks so far in the match, make that 4. Kira McPherson, Benedictine up 10-9. Free ball for the Cougars. First touch by Haywood. And rejected at the net was the attack from Lavoie, sent back over by Hannah Griffith. The 5'8" graduate student from Algonquin, Illinois. Strong attack from Stonich. And the set from Vernango does not get to Stonich. Benedictine now up 12-9 here in the decisive set 3.
Really good job there defensively right there at the front of the net by Kuznetson and Griffin right there, both getting to it.
Olivia McPherson. Too much for Grace Haywood to control. CUC forced to call a timeout, down 4 points here in set 3, and already down 2-0 in the match. Coach Campbell and the team looks to draw something up on the chalkboard to get back in the style here inside Geisman. Cougar fans, be sure to check out our YouTube page, CUC Sports, for new digital content, interviews, and all broadcasts on the Cougar Sports Network. Now you can become a channel member for $5 a month to receive exclusive access to content and the ability to participate in live chats during the broadcast. Go to our YouTube channel, CUC Sports. Click the join button to become a member. If you don't want to become a member at this time, you can donate to the CUC Athletics Communication Department to continue to improve the broadcast you're watching by clicking the thank button on any video. We sincerely thank you for your support. Coming out of the timeout, another point goes in favor of Benedictine. Hannah Griffith with a nice kill. Ben Yu now on a 4-0 scoring run. Beers at the net, and a good play by Vernango to keep it on CUC's side. Stonich's attack is too much, goes right into the Benedictine bench. Starting to see traces of set 1 here from the Cougars. They were able to come back in that set, force extra points. And now Benedictine is out to the longest scoring streak so far in the match since the beginning of set 1. And ironically, Raphael, it started here with Kira McPherson, who had 2 service aces in her first roundabout at the service line. Good plays from the Eagles, just trying to pinball it up and over. Point goes to the Cougars, and it ends the scoring run for now for Benedictine. 16-10 in favor of the Eagles. Julia Beers the best server on the team with 29 serve aces so far this season. Tries to get CUC some momentum here before it gets too late in set 3, and a soft touch from Grace Knutson.
It had been a while since we see one of those soft touches from either team in the set, but that time Knutson right there found the perfect spot right there and took advantage of it.
So the other McPherson, Olivia McPherson, the one to serve for the Eagles. And a big block there from Zorowski and Griffith. We've seen those two team up a couple times so far in the match. Natalia, another block assist there. Fernango to Hunt. Picked up by Levy. And left backside, and a smart play by Knutson. The junior able to drop it where nobody was. And now the Cougars are forced to call another timeout as Benedictine is out to an 8-1 scoring run and leads CUC 19-10 here in set 3. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Before we return to action, I want to give a quick shout out to the support staff behind the scenes. Ryan McGee, Sydney Lloyd, as well as Sydney Pulaskis-Lawher, Kayla McLeod, CJ Selner, Peter Borkowski, Emily Battleband, Janie Turnez, and then the newest member of the CUC Athletic Communications Department, Jackson Halsheimer, who's getting ready to gear up for men's basketball just shortly here, as the Eagles gain another point, now go up 20-10. Fernango goes backside to Dickin. A nice dig there by Olivia McPherson. And Knutson able to drop it again where the Cougars vacate. It was right where the spot where Dickin was. And our last 2 points have just been soft touches as Hannah Griffith comes out. And coming in for the Eagles is Amelia Owolabi. And now a point awarded to the Eagles. Coach Troy Campbell over to talk to one of the officials. And it looked like Katie Stonich was not in the right spot. So 22-10 in favor of Benedictine. Fernango goes over to Stonich. A dig from Levy. Back row attack from McPherson. Throws off the fingertips of Beers. And I'll tell you what, Raphael, this combination between the McPhersons and Olivia and Kira have been a big deciding factor so far tonight for Benedictine. Not just in so much the offensive side, but also what we're seeing too defensively. And now it is match point for the Eagles. 24-10. And again, illegal formation for the Cougars, and that is how we will end the match. The Eagles make a big statement in set 3, winning 25-10 over the Cougars. They won sets 1 and 2 by scores of 26-24 and 25-23. Raphael, we talked about the success the Cougars were starting to have in set 2 and the beginning of set 3. But at some point in that middle of set 3, it just all fell apart. And the Cougars, it looked a little bit out of sorts, not as much communication as we're usually seeing from the squad.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, like, I mentioned this earlier in the second set, how efficiently they were hitting percentage-wise. At one point, they were at a .300. Since then, they've just put at a .128. They just ran out of gas at the end of a third set, and really, they were overachieving in the first two sets. Unfortunately, but I think it was just a little bit better today. Now for Concordia, now 3 games left for them on the year. They're going to have to pretty much go either 2-1 or 3-0 the rest of the way to have any shot to make it to the top 6 in the conference. And for Benedictine, they are now on point to control their destiny to make it to the conference tournament.
Leading attacker in the match was Grace Haywood with 13 kills on 34 total attacks. For the Eagles, they had 3 players tally 10 kills. Sam Zorowski as well as Grace Knutson, and then Olivia McPherson, who had a spectacular night as well. Eagles get ready to host Augustana College on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And for the Cougars, they look to senior night against Alverno College to keep their playoff hopes alive just a little longer at 7 p.m. For everybody here at CUC and the Cougar Sports Network, my partner Rafael Gonzalez, I'm Carter Gledhill signing off from Geisman Gymnasium. We'll see you back here soon for some more CUC women's volleyball.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.